great feature. All right, now the case. I've been flashing the case a lot. I would say hands down, this is probably the best wireless earbud case that I've used to date. First of all, it's just designed really nice. It's got that total pixel aesthetic, that soft touch kind of feel. Feels sturdy. It has almost like a Zippo lighter quality to it when flicking the top open and shut. And maybe that doesn't sound like a big deal, but consider how often we're reaching into these cases to pull our earbuds out and to put them back in. And if you have a poorly designed case, that really destroys the experience. So having a well-designed case improves it. And I think this is absolutely the case here, no pun intended. It fits into the pocket nicely. The way it's rounded, it just drops right in and it's easy to find. There is a single button on the back that enables for pairing. It's a very easy pairing process. It was a piece of cake. Basically on my phone, my Pixel 4 XL, I turned on Bluetooth, I opened the case, and a few seconds later, a message just magically appeared on my Pixel 4 XL to say, hey, tap here to pair. I didn't have to dive into Bluetooth settings to do it. It just happened. And if you want to force that pairing, you can push the button and that can make that happen as well. It has LEDs up in the top, which reflect the amount of charge in the buds themselves, and then has an LED down in the bottom to reflect the amount of charge on the case. And that's nice to know. You don't necessarily have to go into your phone to find this information, though you can. It's nice at a glance to be able to look down and go, hey, everything's fully charged. I'm good to go to run off with this. Of course, there is USB-C on the bottom for charging. Some cases don't have that, so of course Google does. And if you don't want to plug it into charge, it's another big feature here. This case supports wireless Qi charging, and that's really great when it works. I had a pretty big issue with this for a couple of days solid. I tried and tried and tried to get this case to wirelessly charge, but alas, it would not do it. It would not recognize the wireless charger. I tried many chargers, reverse wireless charging, nothing worked. Then suddenly it did, and ever since then, it's been working flawlessly. I've used it on my Pixel stand, which, by the way, pro tip, if you're using the Pixel stand to charge the Pixel Buds case, it has to be upside down. If it's right side up, it's not going to charge, but that's not a big deal. I also charged it on my Samsung Qi charger, as well as some reverse wireless charging from the S20 Ultra. And now it works, but still, I'm in touch with Google. I'm getting this replaced via warranty just to be on the safe side. So I'm not saying that this is a widespread issue, but it was with me, and keep your eyes peeled on that if you happen to pick this up. And the battery, speaking of the battery, I would say the battery on a full charge, I got around 5 to 6 hours for the earbuds, which I think is perfectly sufficient for me because I'm never listening to my earbuds longer than that, ever. You might have a different situation, so maybe that's different for you. Keep in mind that each earbud works independent of the other. Right? I talked about earlier how they can each be used in mono and the other one can be put away, either one of them. So if you really need to get 10 to 12 hours of continuous listening and you can't charge up in between, just use one bud. When that runs out, use the other one. Good, you're golden. The case itself charges buds very quickly. I think a 10-minute charge gets you about 2 hours of playback, roughly. So these are fast charge that's happening. And then the wireless charge of the case or plugged-in charge is pretty darn fast as well. So personally, I know a lot of people are complaining about the battery life on the Pixel Buds, and it just was not an issue for me. Now, finally, the app. If you want to call it an app, it's actually integrated into settings. It only appears in your Bluetooth settings when the Pixel Buds are actually connected to the phone. So you have to tap into the settings through Bluetooth and boom, there you've got the app that's integrated there. You have controls for Assistant, of course, also your touch control customization if you want to set different functions for different touch control taps and that sort of thing. In-ear detection, adaptive sound, of course, is there. There's also a feature for Find My Device, which actually rings your earbud. If you happen to lose it, maybe you drop it in the couch cushions is the usual example, or wherever it happens to be, you hit that in settings and it'll throw that command to the earbuds if they're within kind of connection distance, and they start to ring. And it works really well. I'm really happy to have that. I think it's a great feature. One thing you won't find in the app is any sort of EQ. So if you want to craft the sound of the Pixel Buds, like I said, sound wasn't necessarily the best when compared to the Jabra Elite 75Ts. I could make it sound better if I had control of it with some EQ settings, but you're not going to find that in the stock settings app. So maybe that's a feature that Google will include in a future feature update. So overall, how do I feel about the Pixel Buds? I'd say I feel pretty positive about them. You know, there's a lot that I really like here. Design, of course, the wireless charge, when it works, is really nice. Hands-free assistant, which, man, I love that feature. The sound is pretty good. Again, like I said, not as good as the 75Ts, but still pretty solid in and of itself. The spatial vent really grew on me, though, you know, keep your eyes on what situations that might be better on over others. And the promise of software updates, I think, is a pretty great thing to look forward to. On the downside, battery life is, yes, let's say somewhat less than the competition. Didn't bother me, might for you. Definitely discomfort of long wears over time because of that little nub that fits into your ear. Strange periodic dropouts, which I hope Google addresses, because it sounds like I'm not the only one that experienced that. And the wireless charge design. Again, that only happened on these that I'm aware of, but your mileage may vary. So overall, $179 might sound and feel pricey, and maybe it is. There are a lot of true wireless earbuds out there that are in the double digits instead of the triple digits, but you're also going to find a lot of the competition in this price category. And price to price, when I'm comparing my two earbuds here, the Pixel Buds and the Jabra Elite 75Ts, I mean, they're both pretty compelling, but for different reasons. It's hard for me to pick one over the other. I think maybe I still prefer the Jabra Elite 75Ts, just a hint, because sound quality to me is really important, but that full hands-free assistant integration is really hard for me to give up. And definitely these feel like your Pixel earbuds. Like if you are a Pixel fan, you're going to want these in your toolbox. I'm Jason Howell, host of Hands on Android, a techie look at how to customize your Android device, as well as take a look underneath the hood and see what's really going on down there. You can subscribe by going to twit.tv/HOA, or you can find Hands on Android in your podcatcher of choice.
Keep up with all the hottest tech news and gadgets. Visit twit.tv. There you'll be able to find and subscribe to all our tech shows. Thanks for watching Hands on Tech.
This week on Hands on Photography, it is part 2 of our shelter-in-place time-lapse photography and video tutorial. Check it out. Hands on Photography is brought to you from LastPass Studios. Keeping passwords on notes or spreadsheets doesn't work anymore. LastPass easily keeps track and creates unique passwords for every site you use. Visit lastpass.com/twit.
This is Twit.
This episode of Hands on Photography is brought to you by Mint Mobile. Cut your wireless bill down to just $15 a month with their 3-month introductory plan and get the plan shipped to your door for free at mintmobile.com/hop. Hey everybody, I'm Ant Pruitt, and this is Hands on Photography here on Twit TV. I hope you're doing well. I am unbelievable as always, and I'm just sitting here practicing shelter-in-place photography, if you will, because we're still dealing with COVID-19 and following all of our shelter-in-place restrictions. I hope y'all are doing well, and I hope everyone is safe out there. And I appreciate you taking the time to join in this week and check out the show each and every Thursday. Does mean a lot. So for those of you that are just now checking out the show for the very first time, welcome. And I'd like to tell you a little bit about how this show works. This is Hands on Photography, and this is my way of taking the tips and tricks that I have learned over the years to help make you a better photographer and a better post-processor. I didn't go to film school or photography school or anything like that. I just spent a lot of time dinking and geeking out with different cameras and